Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back to Bengals on the Brain, presented as always by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry, continuing our draft series. Although the internet and the people at some of these media publications would like to hold us down and keep deleting our videos off of YouTube, we'll find a way to get them uploaded. Maybe we'll do it on Twitter or another service that'll host it. A couple Ohio State videos already taken down, Sunny Styles and Arvell Reese. So if you're looking for those, we'll try and give you a different link to an alternative. We're not watching another Ohio State player today. We may not watch another Ohio State player because of it. We'll see if it keeps affecting us. They haven't taken the Caleb one down yet, but we're going to fight it and keep pushing and keep watching film reviews. Anyway, the Bengals need a defensive end this year, and they have one in-house that's pretty good, ranked number 1 on the PFF free agent rankings, and I agree. I think Trey Hendrickson is as good as any free agent available. But that ship has sailed. That bridge has been burned, it feels like, and probably more than burned. They probably blew it up with dynamite. It feels like both sides were like, yeah, we're done. So I don't think anything's going to happen there. I don't think they're going to tag and trade him. That's not the Bengal way. And then now you hear things like Maxx Crosby, and you hear the players, T. Higgins, you hear Jamar Chase saying, let's go get one of these dudes. And I agree. Let's go get one. I'd be excited. That'd be fun. But do we think the Bengals are going to do that? Of course we don't. Instead, the help is probably going to come through the draft in the form of the 10th overall pick. Can they make another pick that some are calling Shemar Stewart again this year? This is the Shemar Stewart of this draft. We're going to talk about why they're different, why they're probably similar, and probably why the Bengals can't afford to take Keldric Faulk out of Auburn. But we've got a game here that shows his versatility and shows his impact and upside. It's the first game of the year. It's against Baylor. And he looks like this in most of the games, I would say. So I think this is a fair one to put up there and say this is what he looks like. I would recommend looking up his highlights, though, if the Bengals draft him. Because the highlights, again, these low production guys, and he's not as low as Shemar, and we'll get into his production, but the highlights will sell it. So if you want to be sold on Faulk, there are ways to do it. I'm not going to do that, though. I think he is a quality player, but not worth the 10th pick, and I'll show you why. So we've got Auburn versus Baylor, and number 15 is going to be our guy, Keldrick Faulk, and we're going to be looking at a long, strong, athletic defensive end that's going to kick inside and play defensive tackle a bunch. So here he is also, again, when we talked about similarities to Shemar had to do this as well, right? He had to be inside the tackle or head up with the tackle a lot, or even on the outside of the tackle. But this is where you pass rush out here. Anytime you're inside here, your production numbers as a pass rusher are going to be lower. We have to be able to accept that and understand that that's part of the evaluation. So we're looking for, when you get a play like that, not really much to do anyways. It's a screen, right? So we're not going to evaluate something like that. But how many opportunities does he get to actually rush? How many opportunities does he get to actually make a play? And we're going to see in this game, we're going to see some flashes of it. We're going to see his power, his strength. He's a very, very, very good run defender, unlike Shemar Stewart. Stewart could have been, I even called Stewart at times a good run defender, but he really lacked the awareness and the tackling ability. Faulk is a very good tackler, very powerful. You saw it on that last play on that pass rush. Here he is kicked in at defensive tackle, but you're going to see him look like a much more refined player in a lot of ways than Shemar. So I don't want to turn you off completely. We don't think he's 150th best prospect like we did with Shemar Stewart. Currently, he's at like 65. So not worth number 10, but a player that is better, in my opinion, than Shemar. So it's nice to see, and I think he will do this because he's listed at about 285. Some have him listed at 288. If he's 290, he's going to play a ton inside. And that's honestly where he's going to win as a pass rusher, I think, in the future in the NFL. I don't think he's as violent. I don't think he's as explosive and running through a brick wall type mentality that Shemar had in a lot of ways coming out of Texas A&M. He was a very wild player in the positive and negative sense, where Faulk is more contained, lands his hands more accurately. I think you'll see it here for an example. He's just outside the tackle on the left side here. You see he's higher. We don't want that, right? We'd like to play with better leverage. He's a taller guy. But his power to lift that guy up and regain and control here for the most part until the guard comes over is notable, because you will see he's got very strong hands, and he's much more aware of where the ball is. But he's not getting any favors here from his alignment and being so far inside. We'll see it again here. So a lot of the film can be frustrating to watch, because when you're head up on like this or just shaded slightly inside the tackle, like, your chances of beating that guy with a speed rusher on the outside are very, very slim. I didn't see him marked there, so I don't know if he was on the field or not. If he wasn't, we'll keep him moving, although I do see a single digit. No. So Faulk's not here, so on this one, so I'll talk more about what I see with him. His data for the run defense is very good. His data for tackling is very good. Those are good things. You want guys that at the very least look like they can defend the run and cause some problems from that aspect. But when it comes to pass rush data, it's all bottom half of the league. So this must be Auburn's entire defensive. Geez, you see 47 get killed. I know we're not here for that, but I just would like to go back here. 47 at D tackle right in the middle. Watch this guard. Boom. Yeah. So I'll get the opportunity to talk while they're not on the field, and then I'll try and edit the rest of those so that we don't have those and not talk during those moments. All right, so Faulk's back in on this one. He's in the middle, which is nice to see. He doesn't get a chance to do anything. The ball is out quickly, but you can see as he's trying to shoot this gap, which is nice to see. Sometimes we get these guys and these ends especially that have to kick inside that are here. When they do get inside, you still see them head up with these guys and two gapping, which means you can go one way or the other, usually holding up this guy, defending the run, and then going where the run's going, right? Here, though, you actually get to see him shoot the gap a little bit. Ball's out quickly. Didn't look like he was going to win that rep anyway, but it gives you an idea of his get off there. That's when you'll see some people say he's an explosive player. I think it's because of his get off in first step. So you're going to see here he's going to get a defensive stop here against the run. He's on the left side. He's in a 2-point stance. Nice to see if he is an athlete, and he's going to do that because, again, these guys are 6'6", 290 sometimes. They don't look like they're moving all that quickly unless you're Myles Garrett, which, freak city. But for Faulk here, does look good here. Gets his hands, lifts this guy off of him, finds the running back, sheds him, and makes a tackle at or behind the line of scrimmage. If you're telling me he's a good run defender, well, there's an example right there. That's exactly what I'd like to see out of him. Here he is standing up again. Looks like he's going to get a chance to rush. We do have somebody on that side, and you'll see him fall there. We do have somebody on that side to potentially chip him. So watch here as he gets to the arc. One of the big things for guys that don't get the opportunity too much to actually rush that I look for is at the apex here, can you turn the corner? Can you flatten and get directly to the quarterback? Even if it's like that, we'll take it. If it's like this, we got a problem. If it's get here and I'm trying to turn and I fall and crash, that's a big problem. So some of that can be hand usage. Some of that is athleticism. Some of that's footwork. Sometimes you just trip. But watch him here as his feet come out of him, which is typically a sign, and we got a long touchdown potentially, which is typically a sign of not being able to have that ankle flexion and balance. So here he is on the right side. Solid get off. We got a tight end there, so he can't go as wide as he wants to. The offensive tackle is completely opened up here. You got to try and swat that outside arm. He can't, and because he can't win as clean and get around the corner without being touched. So he's dealing with some resistance, which is why his foot comes out from under him, slips out from under him. His feet can't handle it. His ankles can't handle it there. So one thing to watch for is the shuttle time and the 3-cone time when he does go to test. Again, we are stacking up this right tackle, holding him up easily. He's on the left side here. You can see his power and what he looks like against the run there. He keeps guys at bay. He must have super long arms. Not an issue for him to lock guys out, peek, and look for that running back and make a play. Lined up inside here. I think we got a 3-4 defense. I think he'll do a lot of that. And looks like he's going to win upfield here. Here he is, 15, just so we're clear. Looks like he's going to win upfield here and then try and make a play from the backside. Let's see how he turns this corner. See if he can get in there. All right, right there. Can he turn and get there? Just not enough. That's a tough play. I just wanted to see if he could, right? That would be freak show stuff. And we're looking for. We want the freak athletes. So, again, he is just mauling this right tackle with power, intensity. Watch it on the left side here. And he's lined up inside. It might be the guard that he mauls then. I think it's a tackle. Yeah, tackle's going to down block. Instantly, those hands are landing. He is landing these hands in the chest pretty much every single time. And that's a good thing to have, right? He's just knocking that guy back, throwing him inside, finds the ball, wraps up, makes a tackle while his feet are off the ground. Good grip strength. That's why his tackling scores are so high. Here he is standing up as an outside guy. Again, very little resistance from that tackle. I want to see this other angle here, left side, because I watched this game first last time, so I don't remember it as well. But he's coming in to defend the run first. You can see how he's angled inwards directly at him. Once he sees it's not a run, ball's already out, but he easily was able to disengage if he needed to. Okay, next play here. He's back at defensive tackle. 1 foot back. He's ready to rush and launch himself upfield. I talked about this when we watched Peter Wood's tape. Doesn't get too many chances, not too often, where he gets his 1 foot back. And it's important. I'm going to use a different play here because we can't see Faulk's feet. But you see how his feet aren't even? You see how his feet aren't even? 1 foot back, 1 foot up here. Faulk's like that right now. He's got one here, one back there. That's a pass rushing stance. When you watch Peter Woods, his feet are even. He's defending the run, even in some situations where it's like, nah, this is a pass situation here. But we got Faulk inside here, number 15. Let's watch his get off here. Like, that's pretty quick. Beating the guys across the face. Plays going the other way. So, okay. Other guys getting that pressure. Quarterback can't make the throw. A nice little shot for you. Got to keep your head on a swivel. All right, he's at edge, right edge, and he is standing up. He's wide. He's getting his chance to rush here. Power. You see that? Like, his hands land so much more than Stewart's do, which is why I'm going to be higher on tape, I think, on Faulk. Because you get that outside move, and he's going to go inside. He's going to convert speed to power here by giving solid get off. Not great. Solid. Outside step. Now go run through his face if you can. And you can see that power. And it's because his hands are landing accurately. Which is something that they were working on Shemar all season, his rookie season. You could see it every time we got a practice film clip. Jerry Montgomery. Okay, we're going to get, looks like Faulk's on the right side here. He's going to dive in on the run. Stays fighting, but that guard's doing a good job. Here he is again. He's edge, outside. He's getting a chance to rush. And it's a draw play. That almost converts, too. So I'm more looking at, one thing I noticed with him is his balance right here before his get off. He's on the left side there. Sometimes he doesn't coil up. He's kind of falling to the side. I think you could work on that a little bit and get him to come off a little bit quicker and faster. Just sheds this guy with ease, right? Watch this one right in the middle here. Right here, left side middle at defensive tackle, which again, I think he's going to do this a lot. And he's defending the run here. Gets inside, peeks, and looks. Now he's going to hold his ground. Watch him throw this guy down. It's better from the other angle if you saw it, right? Just lets that guy down. He's in much more control of his body and his situation than Shemar Stewart was. Again, I think he's a little high here, and I think that's happened a couple times. I don't know if he drew the holding call. He may have. I'd like to see. He's on the right side here. They have him really start inside on all these, right? Like, there are other times we watch rushers, and they get the chance to, like, go this way. They want him to come in and then get around. It's just, to me, it's silly. Let these guys rush when it's time to rush. So good power there, and then turning it into a solid rip move, I think. I didn't see what it was. Let's see. He's going to go power, make contact, and then rip. Doesn't completely get that arm off of him. You can still see the guy's arm is around his stomach down to his crotchal region. And then so he's trying to run this arc, and he really can't because he never gets that arm off of him and ends up falling. I think the hold was, I think 95 got that flag, not Faulk. Okay, next play here's at the outside spot. And again, I would have liked to see him be able to run the arc here. He doesn't get the chance to run it. Right side here. Oh, the guy really jump set him, and you could see his hands miss. You see how his hands are underneath? So I was wondering what happened there. He wants to swat it down, ended up missing. And then he really can't get off. That's a good job by the right tackle. Probably one of the rare times that right tackle has gotten the best of Faulk in this game. Okay, he's inside at D tackle this time. Shooting that gap, got really close to beating it, and then we got a touchdown. But Bengals don't really have a penetrator inside. Even Stewart, I would like them to let him do this more. It seemed like they were just stunting Stewart from the inside. But there was a couple times this year where they did let him just kind of power through these guys. I think we could shoot these gaps if you've got a good enough get off. And I think Faulk does inside. Watch him here, almost split these guys. Rip under it. Almost got through that. Yeah, it's close, right? He's probably playing a little too tall when you're 6'5" plus inside. You know, because the great D tackles that can pass rush are 6'3" and under, typically 6'4" maybe at the most. Chris Jones is very tall, so he deals with it. Looks like he's going to go with power against the right guard here from inside. So he's inside. He's going to go against 68 here. Again, I think he's probably too tall. Probably worried about defending the run. Eyes up. I don't know the down and distance there, but we would like for him to be a little bit lower when he's going to bull rush. There you go. He's lower this time. Yep, exactly. Perfect. So he was lower, which generated an instant power, and then you'll see power leads to finesse moves. So because he's lower here, because he hits this guy a little more square and underneath, even though the guard is the one that actually gets him, the guard lands his hands inside. This guard's, who's 68? Someone look him up for me. But good. I mean, once you get him off balance like that, that is a clean rip move to win. That's a good pass rush. So even though I take it back, I thought he hit him with the power, but it's because that guard sat and really went for the punch. But it's a good counter by Faulk to turn that into a finesse move and win. All right, it's on the right side defensive tackle here. Kind of shaded out. Going to go all the way back inside. Nothing really happening there. That ball's out pretty quickly. I think last year I had a 75 grade on Stewart myself on film. I wasn't very high on him on film. The data also wasn't very high. Oh, we've got a pick. He dropped it. No. And we probably got a penalty. All right, he's inside. Defensive tackle over the A gap. A gap left. And I think I'm going to end up higher on Faulk here. Hit those hands, punch him. Now go to the outside. I can't do it. Guard picks him up. Go back the other way. Center does a good job staying in front and mirroring. Good job, center. Faulk fighting the whole way, though. Tried to power, tried to go one way, tried to go the other way. Didn't work. He's at D tackle again. Going against that guard, and that center's going to pick him up and knock him down. All right. I'm kind of liking this center-right guard combo here for Baylor. Faulk here, right side if you didn't see him. Going to go against 68. Trying to go inside on him. That center comes over and picks him up. Hits him. It's funny because as I'm watching other D linemen here on Auburn, kind of impressed with a couple other guys. I don't know if they're draft eligible. But these other guys, I mean, 10 over here ran the arc earlier and had a sack, and now he's going inside to get the hand in the quarterback's face. I like what 10's got going on. All right, we got 8 seconds here, so he's got to be pass rush opportunity. Nope, he's not on the field at the end. Come on. Whew, that right guard got smoked. Faulk's not here, but I want to see it because his right guard now gets smoked by the backup 43. Oh, yeah, that's a nice 47, 43 or 47. Someone help me out there. That is a nice move. Write it down. I like to collect numbers of other players while we're watching. There, we got a Hail Mary situation. Faulk's out there. They're going to send them all from one side. Ends up being like a screen, sort of. All right, that's first half. All right, he's back at defensive tackle, right side. He just got stoned there, and then he gets the bad pass. Hey, we'll take that. All right, left side, defensive tackle. Let's see why he got stopped here. Tries to give a jab outside. Hands are kind of wild and low there. So I think this guy just gets good punch, holds him up. Does a good job getting his hands up. I mean, sometimes you don't win, and you got to be able to knock the ball down. The Bengals didn't have enough of that, so not going to completely knock them. We want ball awareness, knowing where that ball is. Okay, folks, at the end spot on the outside. We're going to screen that way. So if you're going to... chase him down. Oh, good job. I was going to make a comment that the tackle would like you to win inside if you want to win inside here. Like I'm releasing. So you want to dip inside there? Great. You go ahead. We do not care. We'll release and go to the next level and start blocking, which 69 stops. I mean, go finish. Go get someone. But here's Faulk here, 15, realizing what's happening now, and he takes off. Like, I need to go get this guy. And dives and makes a tackle. That's great hustle. I'll never knock a guy for some hustle. All right, switching him to the other side again. He's head up over the tackle, slanting while we're blitzing back behind him. So his job is to just draw the attention, and we're going to have the blitzer go around. So just being a cog in the wheel, just doing your job, diving inside. 17 is going to loop around you. And then they get a holding call on that. 17 does. 17's not having a great game. Is it 17 or that's the linebacker? The right tackle's not having a great game. Okay, Faulk is at the left outside end spot, shaded outside. Going to go with power against the left tackle. Gets pressure. He definitely gets into the lap of the quarterback. Let's see how close it is here. Left side. Yep. So outside step again, inside attacking that shoulder, and you can see 69 is anchoring. He survives this. He survives this play, but Faulk definitely gets some power under him. Let's see. His hands are low enough we can see it here. Can't really tell. Looks like he's low enough, lower than he's been. Definitely a power player. That's pretty much his entire game. While Stewart was raw power, because it doesn't always land, so he doesn't always look powerful. But when he does, it's like super intense and crazy, because he'd run through a wall if you told him that's what he had to do. Whereas Faulk is definitely more calculated. When his hands land, they look powerful. Outside this time, going for a spin move. We watched some David Bailey spin moves. We've seen Ruben Bain spin moves on the outside here. I don't know if we saw an Arvell Reese spin move. But Faulk here, definitely tell the difference when these guys are that big. Oh, yeah, it's hard. Hey, we only break down spin moves that work because they're fun. But when they don't work, when you can't knock that hand down and then stab the ice pick in the lower abdomen, stab it into his kidney, it's hard to win back inside. So, which is a phrase I just learned because I was explaining it to you guys in other shows, how you got to come and stab that outside hand back in there. And then I saw someone online say, stab the ice pick or bury the ice pick, whatever it was. And I was like, yes, that's it. That's what it's called. Here he is. He's going to try spin move back to back, which isn't advisable. I mean, he's got a chance to run this arc, right? He's got the advantage here to run this arc. And how many chances do you get to do this, Faulk? Take it. Right here. Swat this outside hand. Run this thing. Why stop there? You spun back into him. So not a good sign from awareness in that aspect. We've talked, I've said he's got great awareness versus the run. But there is a pass rusher. I mean, I get playing your position, but. All right, Faulk on this next one. It's going to be at left defensive end. Pretty much head up with that tackle. They're trying to run out that way, and they wall him off, man. And this run is going. We've got a flag, so we got to see here. Good catch up and tackle but Faulk on the left side here. Let's evaluate this play because it is a big run that goes his way. He dives inside here. It's going to really get thrown in. He is struggling here. His eyes are down. We saw this happen to Stewart a bunch. You're getting thrown in. Now he's got full control of you. They're going to build a wall here and a wall here, and we're going to split that, and we're going to take it the distance. Does Faulk ever get he can never recover from that initial block, not being able to hold up there. And he was aligned inside. So again, it's tough. You shouldn't really, like, that's where defensive tackles hold up to those double teams more often than DNs do. That really is the difference. But yeah, that's a run to his side that he couldn't protect from happening. Again, he's fallen now on this pass rush. Right side. He's fallen once when going against his tackle. He misses his swipe. He's got hands around his neck and his feet give out underneath him. There are people that are going to say they like this guy top 12, but there are people that liked Michael Williams and Shemar Stewart top 12. I just need more of a pass rusher than this. You know what I'm saying? I need him to look. We've watched Bailey, Bain, Reese. Reese less so than those guys because he just didn't have too many opportunities to do it. But like Bailey, Bain look like they know what they're doing. They look like they're attacking. They look the offensive tackle looks like they're in a panic trying to block these guys. Now, this should be a clean win for Faulk, but he never really gets the hand off him. Left side defensive tackle here, you're going to see he's going to grab and then let go, right? Yep, to try and swim and rip. No, not swim, but rip. But the guard never really lets him go, and I don't know if they threw a flag on that or what, because I thought I did see a flag. But if you can win cleaner and knock those hands down, you got a chance, or if you're more laterally explosive. Okay, Faulk's lined up at defensive tackle. Empty backfield. You got to be rushing this passer here. He's going to try and go with the center one-on-one. Nice cutback on the receiver there. Take that ball where it's leading you. Left side here. He's going to come all the way across and try and go against the center. Doesn't really affect that center. He tried to go with a power. Center did a really good job. Good punch by him. Okay, Faulk at defensive tackle. 3-4 front. Going to go all the way outside. I don't know if he's going to get a pressure for this. It's a really nice throw by the quarterback. Jeez. Because he's going to see, the quarterback's going to see this blitz. It looks like coming from 17 right here. So Faulk's going to go out wide, right? He's got to protect, make sure quarterback doesn't get out of the pocket. Quarterback, while rolling, just kind of sidearms this thing, 3/4 maybe, and throws it through a window. Nice job. We're in the fourth quarter here now with 2:25 left. Faulk standing up. Going to rush here because we're throwing this ball. Run that arc. Run it. Get him. There we go. There's a sack. Finally. It's a bit clunky. We'll take this sack. Left side here. So he gives him the hand and then pulls it away. You see how fast that was? You just want to almost tap him. It's going to get the guy to lean forward as if he's expecting the power. And then you pull it away to hopefully gain that corner. Now, if you can rip on that outside arm and get it out of there, which looks like he did, he's got this guy completely open. Look at his hips, right? You want to keep, ideally, your butt is facing the quarterback. When your butt's facing us, that corner's open. It means we can get around it now. So Faulk here just wins afterwards. He doesn't, we started this, right, talking about running the arc. And flattening, it's not so much as flattening to the quarterback as sometimes you got to come back to it to actually get to him. But because he can at least flatten, which is the minimum of what you need on an angle here, he's able to stay with it, and the quarterback tries to bail out, and he collects the sack. So it's quality play. It's quality rush from Faulk. Let's see if he can add on to it now. He just went with a finesse move. Now's the time to go for some power. Oh, we got another pressure. No doubt about it. This right tackle is the least impressive of these linemen, though, I would say. He's got help, though. The tackle's got help. It's why he's not setting so far. It's why he's not getting so wide, so deep right now. This end is trying to help Chip. And at this point, Faulk has to turn this and try and really get in between the two of them without getting hit. And he does a good job almost turning his shoulders and then getting back as the running back gets by him. And it's just enough to make that quarterback step up as other guys are winning on the D-line too. So we're getting a chance to see what he would look like as a full-time, like, outside edge rusher. And it's not too bad. We've seen worse prospects than this, no doubt about it. And we got another Chip on this side. He's out left side again. Again, a little off balance right before the snap. Probably get his get off to get better if you could get him to be ready to go. I don't know if he likes, some guys like to be kind of moving, but then if your foot's up, you can't actually step at the right time. Got to coil and go. Bang! Oh my gosh. I thought that was an amazing throw and catch. All right, Faulk on the left side. It's kind of going to go like he thinks it's a run. His eyes even go inside here. You can see him looking in like, is that a run play? Oh, it's not? Okay, let me try and get off him. Ball's already out. Oh, jeez. So a little bit of data on Keldrick Faulk. If you like that film there, if you say like, yeah, run defender who's 20, that maybe has some big man athleticism, that can kick inside and do some things there, yeah, I could like that for the Bengals. Some of the data, if you're worried about production, he's in like the 14th percentile for sack and quarterback hit production, so not what you want if you're spending the 10th pick. His overall pass rush win rate puts him in like the 30th percentile, looking at regular pass rush and true pass sets, situations. His run defense grade puts him in the high 90s. His missed tackle rate puts him in the high 90s. His tackle grade puts him in the high 70s. So, like, he can be very good in those situations. He's got more inside, 4-eye and inside, all the way to defensive tackle and nose tackle at times, reps of any D-end in this class, even more than Ruben Bain, who Bain has a lot as well. So, you can see the difference between he and Bain, right? Bain looks explosive, physical, violent, and good against the run. There's a difference between these players and their twitchiness and explosiveness. Again, some of the highlights, though, there are some games and some moments for Faulk where he looks really, really good. And maybe that's where teams will convince themselves. Again, you want to compare him to Shemar. I think he's more the Michael Williams of this class, who still went, what was that, 12 or 13 to the 49ers. So I still think Faulk goes in that range. I gave him a 78 grade, which is if he was there like 40 and Bengals pick 41. If he was there in round 2, I'd be okay with Keldrick Faulk. I think that's a fine pick in that range. I gave Shemar Stewart a much lower grade, right? I thought he was more of a 4th round pick on tape. So for me, I would get it. I would not endorse it. He's going to be one of our first guys we've watched so far where I'm saying I don't want to take that risk. I don't think you can do that again after taking Shemar Stewart last year. If you're taking a D-end at 10 this class, it needs to be Bailey Bain. I mean, if Arvell Reese is still there, great. So if you're taking that pass rusher, it's got to be one of those guys. And in fact, spoiler, I'm going to have Cassius Howell and TJ Parker higher than Keldrick Faulk. And it's just because those guys are more productive, longer, more explosive, more edge rushing. He's the best run defending end, though. He and Bain are the best run defending ends by far. So you do get credit for that. There is something to be said for that, but that's a pick another team's going to have to make. I don't think the Bengals should be making that one at all. The search continues. We're going to put on more tape. We're going to watch more players. We're going to watch more prospects. We got Super Bowl Sunday this weekend, which probably is going to, I'd like to have an episode afterwards where we kind of, what can we learn from the Super Bowl team? So I've already started to kind of put my thoughts together for that. Because I do think there's a lot to learn. And usually it's really the last Final Four teams. So, add the Broncos in there, add the Rams in there. And what could we learn from those in terms of building this roster and what the Bengals can emulate and what they can't emulate? Sometimes you can't do these things. Like a Drake May quarterback young contract. We did that 2021. Can't do that now. So there are things you can do to try and repeat the success that other teams are having. As the same way teams tried to repeat what the Bengals were doing and tried to build their teams to beat the Bengals in 21, or after 21, 22, 23 era. So we will look at that. We'll probably have one of those, start to look at the offseason a little bit. I'm getting very close to doing my first mock draft of the year. So we got a lot of things to look forward to. And then we've got the combine and free agency right around the corner. I'm excited for it all. I love the offseason. I hope you guys do. If you're still watching now, I believe you do as well. So until next time, on Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics, it is Hoo Day.